Hello and welcome to this video on how to start a hobby. Starting a hobby can be a great way to relax, have fun, and even improve your skills in a particular area. But if you're not sure where to begin, it can be intimidating to try something new. That's why we've put together this guide to help you get started on your new hobby journey. Here's what we'll cover. Finding a hobby that interests you. Gathering the necessary supplies and equipment. Setting aside time for your hobby. Finding a community or group to share your hobby with. Let's dive in. Finding a hobby that interests you. The first step to starting a hobby is finding something that interests you. This might seem obvious, but it's important to choose a hobby that you genuinely enjoy. There are countless options out there, from sports and outdoor activities to creative pursuits like painting or writing. Take some time to think about what you enjoy doing in your free time, or what you've always wanted to try. If you're not sure what interests you, here are a few tips to help you brainstorm. Look for activities that you used to enjoy as a child. Sometimes we outgrow hobbies as we get older, but there might be something you used to love that you could pick up again. Think about what you're passionate about. If you're an animal lover, consider starting a hobby that involves caring for animals. If you're interested in history, consider learning about it through a hobby like genealogy or reenactment. Explore new hobbies through online resources. Websites like Pinterest and YouTube can be great places to find ideas and inspiration for hobbies. You can also search for local groups or meetups in your area that focus on a particular hobby. Once you have a list of potential hobbies, it's time to narrow it down and choose one that you're excited to start. Gathering the necessary supplies and equipment. Once you've chosen a hobby, the next step is to gather the necessary supplies and equipment. This might involve purchasing certain items, or it might involve borrowing or renting them. For example, if you're starting a hobby like knitting or painting, you'll need to purchase materials like yarn or paints. If you're starting a sport like golf or tennis, you'll need to purchase or rent equipment like clubs or rackets. When gathering your supplies, it's important to consider your budget and any space limitations you might have. You might want to start small and gradually add to your collection as you become more experienced. Setting aside time for your hobby. Once you have your supplies and equipment, it's time to start setting aside time for your hobby. This might involve carving out a specific time each week or each day to work on your hobby, or it might involve setting aside chunks of time on weekends or evenings. When setting aside time for your hobby, it's important to be realistic about how much time you can commit. You don't want to overschedule yourself and become overwhelmed. It can also be helpful to establish a routine around your hobby. For example, if you're starting a hobby like running or yoga, you might want to make it part of your daily routine by doing it first thing in the morning or after work. Finding a community or group to share your hobby with. Finally, once you've started your hobby, it can be helpful to find a community or group to share it with. This can be a great way to connect with others who are interested in the same things as you and it.